Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today we will discuss some exercises of the flowers, structure and function. Now from my specimen book I am discussing this exercise. First one here you can see given below they are the certain examples of the flower. Classify them into racemose and cymose inflorescence, right? These are the flowers given: chickwood, sweet pea, mustard, cotton, coriander and jasmine, right? Now here see, under racemose comes the 3-1, sweet pea, mustard and coriander. Under cymose they are coming the 3, chickwood, cotton and jasmine, right? Now see in the second. Given below is a table consisting of a set of items, that is examples of flower belonging to a common category, that is the symmetry of the flower. Complete the table by filling in the category and take out the odd one in the blank. The first has been done for you. For example, now here you can see the first one: rose, china rose, tulsi, daffodil, mustard. Here, except tulsi, all are actinomorphic. Tulsi is the odd one out because it is zygomorphic, right? Actinomorphic flower can be divided into two equal halves by passing through a center through any plane, and zygomorphic flower can be divided into two equal halves when we pass through a particular plane only. Then only flower is divided into two equal halves. That condition is called zygomorphic, right? Second example, daisy, canna, dandelion. Here daisy and dandelion, they belong to the composite flower. In coverage, that is a very distinct shape of the flowers is found, and they consist of many tiny or small florets, as you can see in the sunflower. And the composite inflorescence is there, and they are flattened. Under the receptacles, they are joined. So here they cannot be divided into various parts. So that is the composite, that is daisy and dandelion, and canna does not comes in this group. Sweet pea, beans, tulsi and dhatura. Here dhatura, it is actinomorphic, whereas rest all they are zygomorphic. That is sweet pea, beans and tulsi, they are zygomorphic, whereas dhatura, it is comes under actinomorphic. Now the next one, canna and tulip. Canna is asymmetrical while tulip is not asymmetrical. Asymmetrical flowers are those flowers they cannot be divided into two equal halves when they pass through or they cut it through any plane over there. They cannot be divided. So these flowers, they are known as asymmetrical flowers. Okay, now we come to the next exercise here. You can see the next one, that is state the location and function of the following parts in the flower. First one, that is the placenta. When placenta, where placenta is present, location, it is in the ovary. What is the function of placenta? This function of placenta, it attaches ovule inside the ovary. Anther, location, this is the third wall of the flower, and anther, they produce pollen grains. What they produce? They produce pollen grains. Thalamus, it is the base of the flower. What is thalamus? It is the base of the flower. And what is the function? It produces the all floral whorls of the flower that is produced by this, the thalamus. Stigma, the center part of the flower, present in the center, and it is the center landing place. What is the function? Landing place for pollen grains. Pollen grains goes and attached to the stigma, and then they pass through the style, goes into the ovary through the pollen tube. Ovules, where they are present? Ovules are present in the ovary. And what is the function of the ovule? Ovule, after fertilization, changes into seed. If they are not fertilized, then they become the fleshy edible part of the fruit, as you see in your ककम्बर, खीरा आप खाते हैं, इसमें जो क्या है सीड्स नहीं बनते, ओव्यूल जो सीड्स होते हैं वो एडाइबल पार्ट्स होता है. Now explain the following terms: epigyne, perigyne, style, presentation, staminate and pistillate flowers. Now here you see, first the condition comes here. What is epigyne? Epigyne means the stamens, petals, and sepals, they are born above the ovary and ovary is inferior. Rest four parts, they are superior. As you can see here in this diagram, calyx, corolla, androecium, they are superior and ovary is inferior. Ovary is below the flower. This is the epigyne condition. In case of perigyne, what happens? You can see the stamens, petals and sepals, they were attached to the rim of the flower cup. The ovary is said to be half inferior, half superior. Here you can see perigyne condition. Now here you can see sepals, petals and androecium. They are half above the ovary and half below the ovary. Half above the ovary and half below. Ovary is placed half superior, half inferior. This condition is known as perigyne, right? Now the next one, what is style? When we say what is style, it is the tubular stalk connecting the stigma and the ovary. Here you can see, this is the stigma, this is ovary. This is the style. Style connects stigma and ovary. Through this style, pollen tube process goes in the ovary and fertilizes the ovule. What is placentation? As you can see, placentation, the arrangement of placenta within the ovary is called placentation. What is placentation? The arrangement of placenta within the ovary is called placentation. How the ovules, the placenta arranged inside the ovary. Here you can see over there how the placentation means. Here the placentation, it arises. Now how these placenta are arranged, it is present on the outer wall of the ovary, it is entered the central axis of the ovary, they are freely fused in the central, that is placenta. Now staminate flower. What are staminate flower? Staminate flower, in this type of the flower, what happens? The pistil is either totally absent or non-functional. Pistil is either totally absent or non-functional, means only stamens are present, the flower is said to be staminate. Pistillate flower, stamen whorl is absent. When we ask pistillate flower, under the pistillate flower, what happens? The staminate whorl is absent or non-functional. Non-functional absent meaning is the same, and the flower is said to be pistillate. Means only ovary is present, androecium is absent, or if present, it is non-functional. Then we say that it is an pistillate flower. Now, what is parietal presentation? When we talk about the parietal presentation, here you can see under the parietal presentation, when placentas are on the outer wall of the ovary, it is called parietal presentation. Here you can see placenta is present on the outer wall of the, this is the outer wall of the ovary. In this the placenta, this is the placenta, these are the ovary. So this is present in the outer wall of the ovary. This is the outer wall of the, so in the, it is called parietal presentation. Okay. Now the next question comes, how will you differentiate? Here you can see, how will you differentiate between flower and inflorescence? Now here you see flower and inflorescence. Flower, it is a specialized shoot of limited growth. What is flower? Flower is a specialized shoot of limited growth. Whereas inflorescence, this is the arrangement of flowers on a twig is called inflorescence. What is monoadelphous stamens and polyadelphous stamens? When we talk about the monoadelphous stamens, means the filaments of all stamens are united, form a single bundle. Then the condition is known as monoadelphous. As you can see in this case, they are united to form a single bundle. The condition is said to be monoadelphous. And if the filaments are united to form more than two bundles, example, that is the castor. Here you can see The filaments are united to form a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, more than 2 bundles. That is the example of the castor. Many filaments are united and forming a bundles. So they are known as poly. Mono means single, poly means many. Now the next one, actinomorphic and zygomorphic flower. This already I told you. Actinomorphic flower, when flower can be divided into two equal halves by any vertical section passing through the center. For example, mustard and brinjal. Zygomorphic flowers, when the flower can be divided into two similar halves along only one plane, then it is said to be zygomorphic. For example, beans, pea, etc. Now, what is placenta and placentation? Placenta, that is the rich parenchymatous tissues in the inner wall of the ovary to which ovules remain attached. This is the placenta. See, this is the parenchymatous tissue in which ovules are attached. This one attached. This is the placenta. And placentation, how ovules are arranged inside the ovary, the way of arrangement of the ovules inside the ovary, this is called placentation, right? Now the next one, complete and incomplete flower. Complete flower, when all the four floral verse, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, they are present in the flower is said to be complete. If any one of the word is lacking in the flower, then the flower is said to be incomplete, as canna and orchid. Complete flower as your hibiscus flower. Now the next, stigma and style. You know already, stigma, it is the terminal knob-like part, may be lobed, feathery, covered with hair, or sticky and forms the landing place. Stigma present at the top. As you see, this is the stigma. 5-lobed, this is the stigma of China rose. That's it. Whereas style is going inside it. China rose में जो stamens monodelphous condition है, उस monophyletic के center से होती है. जो monodelphous condition stamens का होता है वो red color का होता है, और जो style अंदर present होती है वो white color की होती है there. And a style is surrounded by the staminal tube. So style is the tubular stalk connecting the stigma and ovary. I told you already earlier. Now the next one, monoadelphous and diadelphous stamen. What are mono? Filaments of all the stamens are united, form a single bundle staminal tube, China rose. Diadelphous, filaments are united to form two groups of bundles. They form two groups of bundles, for example, P. You see in this case, this is P, 9 plus 1 arrangement, 9 stamens, 1 bundle, 1 is separate, and this is the style, which is present as they are in case of the P. Okay. Now you see the next one, the diagram showing here, given below are the various types of androecium. Name the type. First one, polyadelphous, example, castor. Second one, monoadelphous, example, China rose. Third, diadelphous, example, P. Fourth one, syngenesious, means anthers are united, filaments are free. This condition is known as syngenesious condition, and it is present in sunflower, right? Now you see presentation, arrangement of ovule. Now the different types of, this is parietal presentation. Here in case of parietal, flowers are on the, placentas are on the outer wall of the ovary. Placentas are on the outer wall of the ovary, example, mustard. In case of 2, it is axile plantation, found in China rose. Here, carpels meet in the center. You see central axis. All their pentacarpal, 5 carpels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carpels meet in the androl through central axis. This is the parietal present. Third one, free central. Only single, freely ovules are united. That is case of dianthus. Ovules are born on the axis of the center of the ovary. In the center of the ovary, the present, and thin parenchymatous tissue in the center, it is the placenta. This is the outer wall of the ovary, inner wall of the ovary. Present is here. Now here you see the last one. Diagram below illustrate the structure of flower. Identify the parts A to E. A is corolla, B is the stigma, C is calyx, D is ovary, and E is anther. Which part produces pollen grains? Anther produces the pollen grain. Which part receives pollen grain during pollination? Stigma. Stigma receives pollen grains during pollination. What changes will take place in the parts A and D? Part A, corolla, it withers away after fertilization, and D, that is the ovary, ovary changes into the fruit, ovary wall, fruit wall, ovary wall changes into the fruit wall, ovules changes into the seed, and legs becomes the fleshy edible part of the fruit. I hope it is clear. Again we will meet in the next video. Thank you children.